Is the Fox 29 Morning Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Fox 29 Morning Show. Today is Tuesday, July 7th. I'm Olivia Vidal. Coming up here on Fox 29, we're keeping our eyes on scams this morning. Robin Richardson will join us to let us know what scams are circling the lake area lately. We'll find out how to remain vigilant in order to protect ourselves and our personal information. And later, an interesting story out of Colorado. A dog helps his owner find a kidney. We're going to see how this four-legged pooch helped him out later on. But first, let's get to our top stories making headlines this morning. Protesters gather in front of the old Calcasieu courthouse demanding the Confederate statue be removed. The future of the South's Defenders Monument was questioned following recent protests over racial injustice. Last night, chants of Lake Charles, right now the statue must come down, arose as many gathered in hopes of seeing some change. JAYVON Muhammad, who lives in Lake Charles, said it was good to see people from all different backgrounds at the protest.
This issue is important to all races. This is not a black issue, this is an American issue. So when I see all different races here, I feel like justice is being served. I feel like the country today is not the way it was when this statue was erected. And people are uniting with us because they understand. They understand how it feels to be reminded by symbols of oppression all the time. And so we're excited that this protest didn't just look like a protest. It looked like a people protest. It looked like a Lake Charles protest, and we are a part of Lake Charles.
Last week, Lake Charles Mayor Nick Hunter joined those calling for the statue to be removed. Ultimately, it's up to the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury to decide if the monument stays or goes. Well, check out this paid advertisement. It appeared in the American press over the weekend. It calls for keeping the monument in front of the courthouse, saying it's a war memorial, and removing it would dishonor the local soldiers who fought and died in battle. The ad also claimed the monument has never been connected in any way to supporting slavery. On the national side, military leaders at the highest level are working on a plan that would ban the Confederate flag from being displayed at military bases. Right now, it's just a draft, but it's been circulating for the last week. That's the latest from a defense official who knows about the document. Military leaders have argued the flag is divisive and gets in the ways of fighting units coming together as a team. Military legal personnel are still working on ways to make sure the ban could be enforced. There's already a ban on displays of the flag at Marine bases. The Navy, Army, and Air Force military chiefs and their civilian counterparts have all been working on similar bans. Well, parents in some school districts will soon have to decide whether to send their child back to a school building in the fall or stick with virtual learning. And while the education department's goal is to have all students back in the classroom, some school districts will offer distance learning options for some students.
And I know it's a frustrating time because parents work. And what will be their best scenario to fit in this education that we feel is most important for their child?
BESE Board President Sandy Holloway says every school district will have to submit a plan to the State Department of Education in the coming weeks. State Senator Cleo Fields of Baton Rouge asks for a ban on all K-12 school sports through December because of COVID-19. Fields sent a letter to the State Board of Elementary and Secondary Education saying the issue is too critical to leave a decision up to the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. BESE could take up the matter when it meets July 14th to adopt emergency rules concerning the reopening of schools. And we all know the ongoing pandemic impacts everyone in a unique way. Fox 29's Sydney Roberts spoke with the Executive Director for Autism Services of Southwest Louisiana, who says it's important to acknowledge those in our community living with autism who are also trying to understand and navigate the health crisis.
Amy Donald, Executive Director of Autism Services of Southwest Louisiana, says it's important to realize the impact the ongoing pandemic is having on our autistic population.
Sometimes I think adults with autism or individuals with disabilities are forgotten during times like this.
Donald says changes brought by the pandemic can largely affect behavior, which can lead to anxiety and even depression. She says for that reason, Autism Services for Southwest Louisiana staff are working to continue improving their residents' lives by helping them understand and navigate these challenging times.
It definitely has made a big impact on them and changed their daily routine. And as you know, individuals on the autism spectrum, routine is very important.
Donald says sensory sensitivity can make it very challenging for someone to wear a mask, and social distancing is also hard. But she says they practice often.
We have spent a lot of time coaching our residents and our clients on good hygiene and prevention of infection spread, washing hands, wearing a mask.
But she says being able to quarantine together has helped a whole lot for residents, allowing them to lean on each other without having to go through the uncertainty alone.
When they come see us, they want to reach out their arms and hug you, and it is really hard to turn down those hugs when they have that big smile on their face. So we're teaching some fist bumping and some elbow bumps, and they've come a long way, but it's definitely been a challenge to adjust to all these new ways.
Yeah.
Donald says last week they held their first Zoom counseling call, which allowed residents and clients to finally see each other after being apart for so long. She says the plan is to continue those meetings as long as needed. Well, Ward 3 City Marshal Vic Salvador announced last week he's not seeking re-election. That opens up a position that can pull in close to $300,000 depending on fees collected. There will likely be a field of candidates who will run for the office. Salvador says last year he could have taken $280,000 in fees in addition to a $16,000 base pay, but he says he opted not to.
I took less than half of the commission. The rest of that money I left in the office to purchase equipment, to increase the salaries of the deputies, which are some of the lowest paid in the area, and also to increase the amount and quality of training that they receive.
Salvador thinks the salary should be capped by law and excess fees collected used to support other needs in the office. He expects it to be a campaign issue for those who run to replace him. Louisiana drivers with State Farm auto insurance can expect another drop in premiums. The state's insurance commission just approved the change, which will lower premiums for auto policies by 9.6%. State Farm customers will see the drop effective August 24th. It's the latest round in rate decreases linked to the pandemic, as coronavirus restrictions kept more drivers at home, which also led to fewer accidents, insurance claims, and crash-related lawsuits. Scammers are continuing to take advantage of the ongoing pandemic, and after the break, Robin Richardson will have a look at the latest scams reported by the Better Business Bureau. And then he'll have a look at our forecast. Here's our South Lake Charles sky cam. It's going to be a beautiful day, lots of sunshine, maybe a few rainstorms on the way. He'll let us know. It's 7:08. You're watching the Fox 29 Morning Show.